Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. There are three chests. A chest whose opening is on its side is susceptible of becoming tome with its midrash tumor. A chest whose opening is on top is susceptible of becoming tome with corpse tumor. And a chest of great proportions is tahor from any form of tumor. There are three tarbusim. The tarbus of a blood letter is susceptible to becoming tame with each midrash tumor. A tarbus on which people eat is susceptible to becoming tame with corpse tumor. And a tarbus of olives is tame for tahor from any form of tumor. There are three bases: that which is in front of the bed, that which is in front of the scribes, and subset to become tuma with Mrs. Tuma, and that of the luvka is susceptible to becoming tame with corpse tuma, and that of a cabinet is tama from any form of tuma.
Okay, so once again, following the pattern, we carry on. Shalosh pinkasayos hen. There are three kinds of pinkas. A pinkas being it's a kind of a ledger.
Okay.
Epiphorin. It's Tamei Midrash. Okay, so we got to understand what is an epiphorin. And Arthur helpfully explains that an epiphorin is a tablet whose surface was covered with sand. One would trace his calculations in the sand. So this writing tablet was large and suitable for use as a seat. So therefore, it's susceptible to midrash tumah. Okay, so the question arises, obviously one cannot trace figures in the tablet while someone is sitting in it. So why is it susceptible to midrash tumah? Remember, we had the case of somebody sitting on top of a chest. So even though it's convenient as a seat, people will say to him, get off, I want to open the chest. So Rambam defines an epiphorin as not as a writing tablet, but a kind of foldable chair or bench. Big pardon. The answer to this question was that the tablet was not constantly used for writing, and at some time during the day it was used exclusively as a seat. So therefore, as a dual purpose item, it wasn't something that incidentally people sat on. It was intended for both sitting and for writing on. Okay, we don't have such a thing in our modern day understanding of things. Like nobody's sitting on their tablets or whatever. But okay, so that's the understanding. So Rambam defines it not as a writing tablet, but as a kind of foldable chair or bench. But okay, so let's carry on with the other examples of pinkasim. Sheyesh ba beis kibul shava. So a ledger that's got a receptacle for wax. So you have the wax in there, and you write. It's like a sort of ancient etch-a-sketch.
Right.
Right, and when you're done, you just give it a wipe, and it cleans everything off. But it's got a receptacle, so therefore that's tmei mace, and therefore as a regular kind of kli, the chalaka and a smooth one tahora miklum. So the regular smooth pinkas, it's an uncoated wooden tablet which you write on with a pen and ink, and it has no receptacle. So that is not a kli, and it has no function as a container, and therefore it is completely tahor. All right. Shalosh mitos hen, three different types of beds. Soya l'shchiva, regular kind of bed. Tamea midras, people sit and lie on it. That's exactly its intended purpose, and it's susceptible to midras tumah. Shel zagagin. Now, the glassware manufacturers, what they have is they have a kind of a bed that they put their glass utensils on while they're cooling, and it's just there for to put the glassware into, and so it is a receptacle, but it's not meant for people to sit on because that's not its purpose. And if somebody sat on it, the glassware manufacturer would say, "Get up! I need to put my stuff down here." Okay, and Vishal Saragin tahor mikum, and the bed of net makers is completely tahor. So you see the picture over here is the bed of the Saragin. It looks like a bed, but really it's a frame for people to strap their ropes on and to weave a net. And once they're finished weaving it, then they disconnect it from the bed and tie it together on the ends, and that's how you make a net. So it's not for people to sit on; it's there just as a frame to use to set up the nets, and it has no receptacle. It's not meant for sitting on, and therefore it is completely tahor.
The bed of glass is it's considered a receptacle.
So you can dive into the commentary over here. He says this is a bed, actually more of a platform on which glassware manufacturers would place their finished products. Since it contained fragile glassware, it was not suitable for lying on, so it's not susceptible to midrash tumah. However, it is susceptible to contact-generated tumah, for although it lacks a receptacle, its wide flat surface was designed to hold objects similar to a receptacle. So while it's not biblically susceptible to tumah, it is susceptible on the rabbinic level. Alternatively, the platform did have rims that formed a receptacle, and so therefore it is biblically susceptible to tumah.
Okay.
Okay. And our final Mishnah for today, mashpelos. So mashpelos is basically it's a large basket or box for transporting things from one place to another. Okay. Shelzevel. So the manure container. We came across the manure container back in a previous period in 1910. So this type of container is something. It's like a backpack with manure in it, and the worker would like walk through the field, sort of sprinkling the manure as he's walking. And it had a long pole at the back that he could that when he wanted to take a break, he could sort of bend his knees and the pole would hit the ground, and he could take a little rest. Okay, and because it's built to take his weight, therefore the whole thing is subject to midrash tumah.
Okay.
Okay. Shel tevin tamei mace. Okay, and one that's used for straw is made from thin strips of wood, since it didn't have to be as sturdy as a manure container, and it was much more brittle, and it's not suitable for sitting or leaning on. So it's a container, and it's just susceptible to regular corpse tumah, but not to midrash tumah. But puchlatz shel gemalim tahor miklum. So here the puchlatz, he explains, is an object of mesh-like construction formed of interlaced ropes with wide spaces between them, used when transporting merchandise by camel. This object was not suitable for sitting on because the ropes from which it was constructed were hard and uncomfortable, so it's therefore not susceptible to midrash tumah. It's also not considered a legal container, for the large holes between its interlaced ropes made it unsuitable to contain even straw. So it's not susceptible to contact-generated tumah either. Okay.
All right. Aleph.
Yeah.
One who touches the upper beam, the lower beam, the handles, the reed, the thread, which he placed upon purple wool, or a sweat that he does not intend to leave there, is tahor. One who touches the weft of the fabric, the standing warp, the double material which he placed upon purple wool, or sweats that he intends to leave there, is tamei. One who touches the wool which is on the distaff on the ashvaya is tahor. And one who touches the world before he uncovers it is tamei, and one who touches it after it covers it is tahor. One who touches the yoke, the crossbar, the collar, or the beam, even while they are in use, are tahor. And one who touches the handle, the borek, or the guide is tamei. The one who touches the metal ring, the collars, or the mold boards is tamei, and Rebbe Huda rules tahor regarding the cultures, since their purpose is only to increase the amount of dirt. And one who touches the handle of a bow saw at either end is tamei, and one who touches the string, the band, the bridge, the dowels, and the carpenter's press, or the bow shaft handle of an oga is tahor. Rabbi Yehuda says, also one who touches the frame of a great sword is tahor, and one who touches the bowstring or the bow, even if it's stretched, is tahor. A mole chop is tahor, and Rabbi Yehuda says as long as it is set, it is considered connected.
Okay. Right. Yud Aleph Aleph.
Regarding metal utensils, their flatwares and their hollowwares are tamei. If they break, they become tahor. If one fashioned them into utensils, they revert to their former state of tumah. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says this does not apply to every kind of tumah, but only to corpse tumah. Every metal utensil that has a name or of its own is tamei, except for a door, bolt, a lock, and a socket that is under the pivot. Or the pivot, the beam, and a pipe, since they are made to be attached to the ground. Regarding one who makes utensils from iron ore, or from metal ingot, or from the hoop of a wheel, or from sheet metal, or from plating from the bones of utensils, or from the rims of utensils, from the handles of utensils, from straps, or from filings, the utensils are in tahor. And Rabbi Yochanan ben Nora says even utensils made from cut pieces.
One more. But carry on.
Right? But utensils made from pieces of broken utensils, or from fragments, or from nails that were known to have been made from other utensils are tame. If one made utensils from nails, Beit Shammai said them tame. Beit Hillel says they're tahor.
Okay.
Okay. And we have more. Base off. These are the laws that apply to offerings of individuals that do not apply to communal offerings, and they are laws that apply to communal offerings that do not apply to offerings of individuals. For the offerings of individuals make a Tamora, but communal offerings do not make a Tamora. The offerings of individuals come as both males and females, but communal offerings come only as males. With regard to offerings of individuals, the owner bears responsibility for offering them and bears responsibility for offering their nesachim. With regard to communal offerings, the owners do not bear responsibility for offering them, nor responsibility for offering their nesachim, but they do bear responsibility for offering the nesachim once the offering has been brought. These are the laws that apply to communal offerings that do not apply to offerings of individuals. For communal offerings override the strictures of the Sabbath and override the laws of Tumah, whereas offerings of individuals override neither the structure of the Sabbath nor the laws of Tumah. But Meir said, these are not the chavitim of the Kohen Gadol and the Yom Kippur offerings of individuals, yet they override the Sabbath and Tumah. Rather, it is because the time of the offerings is fixed. Regarding an individual's katos whose owner received atonement, it must be left to die. But communal katos offerings have received atonement are not left to die. Rabbi Yehuda says they must be left to die. Rabbi Shimon says this would be fine in regard to the offspring of a katos and with the tumor of a katos, and with the katos whose owners have died, the matter was stated only regarding the katos of an individual and not regarding communal katos. So too, as regard with the katos whose owners received atonement and the katos whose year is past, the matter was stated only regarding the katos of individuals, but not communal katos. In some respects, the laws of Kedoshim are more stringent than the laws of the Tamora, and in other respects, the laws of Tamora are more stringent than the laws of Kedoshim. The Kedoshim can make a Tamora, but Tamora cannot make a Tamora. The community and partners can consecrate Kedoshim, but cannot make a Tamora. And we consecrate our Kedoshim fetuses and limbs, but we cannot make a Tamora with them. The laws of Tamora are more stringent than the laws of Kedoshim. For Tamora sanctity has effect on a permanently blemished animal, and the animal does not become disconsecrated with respect to being sheared and worked with. Rabbi Yossi, the son of Rabbi Yehuda, says the Torah treated an unintentional act like an intentional act with regard to Tamora, but did not treat an unintentional act like an intentional one with regard to Kedoshim. The Elavah says a mixed breed, a terefer, an animal born through cesarean section, a tumtum, and androgen, and do not become sanctified, and do not be sanctified other animals.
Okay.
Rosh Hashanah.
Shavuos
first.
Shavuos first.
Oaths are of two types, which are in reality of four. Awareness of Tuma is of two types, which is in reality four. Trances on the Sabbath are of two types, which are in reality four. Appearances of the Torah fiction are of two, which are in reality four. Wherever there is awareness at the beginning and awareness at the end and unawareness in between, he is liable to a variable sin offering. If there was awareness at the beginning, but there was no awareness at the end, the he-goat which is sanctified inside, and the Yom Kippur suspends punishment, and Yom Kippur suspends the punishment until he becomes aware of it and begins the variable sin offering. If there was no awareness in the beginning, but there was awareness at the end, the he-goat which is sanctified outside and Yom Kippur atone. As it is said, aside from the sin offering of the atonements, for what this one atones. This one atones just as the inner one atones, only for a case in which there was awareness. So the outer one atones only for the case in which there was awareness.
Okay. Rosh Hashanah. For 2 months, the witnesses may desecrate the Sabbath, for Nisan and for Tishrei, and for them the messengers go forth to Syria, and on them they fix the holy days. And when the temple was in existence, they desecrated even for all of them because of the determination of the time of the sacrifice. Whether the new moon was clearly visible or whether it was not clearly visible, they could not desecrate the Sabbath because of it. But Yossi says if it was clearly visible, they could not desecrate the Sabbath because of it. It happened that more than 40 pairs of witnesses passed on the way to Beis Din, and Reb Akiva detained them in Lod. Rabbi Gamil said to him the following message: if you detain the public, you are placing a stumbling block in the path for the future. A father and his son who saw the new moon. That's it. We're done. Okay.
And okay. If a person sells his field, the seller is permitted, but the purchase are forbidden. A person may not hire workers on condition that his son may gather after him. If he does not allow the poor people to gather, or he allows one and not another, or he aids one of them, robs the poor of such a person, it is stated, remove not the landmark of those who come up to Olim, who come up. Olim. The sheaf that the workers forgot, that the owner did not forget, that the owner forgot, but the workers did not forget, or the poor stood before it and it covered them with stubble, then this is not shikha. If a person collects sheaves to make hats or consumot or a cake or sheaves, it is not liable to shikha. If taken from there to the threshing floor, it is liable to shikha. And if a person collects sheaves from the heap, it is liable to shikha. From there to the threshing floor, it is not liable to shikha. This is the general rule. Whoever collects sheaves is to take to a place that marks the conclusion of their work. It is liable to shikha. From there to the threshing floor, it is not liable to shikha. To a place that does not mark the conclusion of the work, it is not liable to shikha. From there to the threshing floor, it is liable to shikha.
Okay.
Good. Okay, I should talk to you. And I'll see you at Mesa tomorrow.
It's a shame.
Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.